Brief market update here. Today is Saturday, June 28th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We got the commitment to trader data on Friday, so we will talk through just a little bit of the findings, what we're tracking in the market, what we're looking at this week. Should be a pretty light week given the fact that it's 4th of July on Friday. The markets will be closed, so you've got a 4-day week coming up. We'll talk through the commitment to traders, a couple of the different trades that I look at in terms of systems, and then we'll talk through some stock picks. So first we'll start off, we look in the column here on the side. We will talk through the commitment to trader data, which shows us that we're maintaining our short on the yen, which has really been pretty choppy here. I mean, we're actually in a bit of a wedge pattern. Not too much to say as far as the yen here. It's having some up and down days. Had a really nice reversal here. I want to say that was kind of like middle of last week. We had a nice like rip lower. It seemed like we were in some good profit, and then we kind of bounced right back up. But yen shows we should continue to short. We're looking at shorting the Swiss franc, which honestly probably will move in a similar pattern to the yen. If we come up here to 6S, the Swiss, it's actually on highs, all-time or new highs in the recent term here. So hard for us to short that. We need to actually find some sort of reversal in order to get in that. Similarly, in the inverse here with coffee, it is trading just lower and lower. Did we put in a potential reversal candle here? It's hard to tell. We'll have to wait another day and see, but that's showing us a setup to go long. Same thing for the lean hogs, again, putting in a recent high, so we want to be going short. Not sure if that's really a topping tail at this point. Looks like we could still head higher, so not much to do there. Heating oil showing a short. Not much to do here with this amount of move in a single day. Like, where are you going to put your stop? You're going to put it way up here. It just doesn't make sense. You're not going to get much size on. Hard to trade that. And then as far as B setups, these are not technically set up yet with commitment to trader data, but it's pretty close. Silver being a short, also having put in a high recently, but could be possible to catch that going lower, especially if the dollar starts to get some strength, where we're also seeing the dollar close to go long. And then sugar I'm seeing is a close to go long, but that also was putting in a low very recently and then just gapped up in the contract rollover. So not totally sure if we're going to be able to get any additional positions this week, but we will keep an eye out. And then from a momentum standpoint, which also aligns with the commitment of traders, we're in on the S&P long. We have one position here that has just been rallying and continues to rally, continues to show momentum, and shows that commitment of traders have not gone neutral yet, so we will maintain our long on the S&P, which we have right down here, the ES long momentum. Technically, we're in that from a momentum standpoint, but it's also signaling for us to be long from a commitment to trader standpoint as far as where the commercials are set versus the large and small speculators. So that's sort of what we're looking at in terms of the futures market. We did get stopped out on gold on Friday. Gold has been selling off pretty dramatically, even despite the dollar moving lower. Would like to see some momentum shift on that and to get back in. Copper, similarly, would like to find some momentum to get back in that. We had a nice trade and made some profits on copper this past month, which was good. But yeah, not a whole lot here. Silver was also in on a momentum system that just exited because of the recent sort of price action change. So we were a little bit conflicted. We had a long momentum, but short from the commitment of traders. In that position, I will typically stay out of trading that market. If you have two systems that are signaling different things, it's best to just stay out and stay removed. If you're in a position, that it's simply good to just exit it and play safe. So that is our setups, and then you'll notice I have Buller here, this buyer of last resort. So this is more a setup I'm looking at where commitment to traders is favorable to go long, but it's also, can we potentially catch a really big move down and then a reversal where we're the buyer of last resort? So, for instance, with the dollar, right? If the dollar really collapses here and we're already stretched to the short side where speculators have been shorting this thing for quite a while now and they're maximum on the short side. If we find kind of a big sell-off and we're the buyer of last resort, we can get in and have a really nice risk to reward on a bounce back to the upside. So that's kind of the idea there with the DXY and soybean meal, and same thing with sugar to potentially go long. Long I have written here, this is technically close, buyer of last resort is what we're going to call that. And then if we go to our So stocks to watch, we're going to get rid of that. There's nothing really on earnings this week. There's no B setups for the momentum system. We'll keep an eye out on any alerts there. And then we go into the charts because we have a new system that we recently implemented, which is really to catch momentum, really attempting to catch when large hedge funds and money managers are going long and piling into certain stock. We want to be buyers when we're on the same side of significant buying pressure and momentum moving a stock higher. So positions that we're in right now are MSTR. So MicroStrategy, which we are relatively neutral here, a little bit in the red. I've got some stops in place, but this is really an opportunity for us to catch a big move higher and then exit in some liquidity on the move higher. Snowflake, similarly, we're actually on highs, so would like to continue to carry the momentum higher there. Tiger, similarly, had a nice pop on Friday and then, or on Thursday, and then a bit of a reversal on Friday. LRCX is also catching a nice little breakout here if we kind of look at this consolidation. Where the stock has been historically trading, we are technically in a breakout. So we're looking to catch momentum to the upside. Apple, we are testing the bottom of a sort of consolidating triangle here. So hoping to catch a bounce back to the upside to resistance. Apple, I just think is overdone, oversold, and I think it's a good time for us to be in on that position. ASML is another stock that we're looking to catch some momentum on a potential breakout, which if you draw a price level here at recent resistance, tagged it here, 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 tagged it, broke out, went back under, and then broke out again, and now bouncing. So potentially could see a move higher on ASML. Ford, similarly, looking to break out of this wedge pattern. NCLH, we are well in profit here as we are looking like we're breaking out of this triangle, this sort of consolidating pattern here. And XYZ is something that we've been in for quite some time, so we're just looking to take some profit as we start to break out of this pattern as well. Very similar patterns here in a lot of these stocks as far as like these falling triangles, which are bullish patterns if you can break to the upside, but if you break to the downside, there can be some significant move of velocity lower. So, similar for Redfin we can see here, which we're looking to exit potentially depending on the price action on Monday. But yeah, some interesting kind of similarities in a lot of these charts with Redfin, with ETN, with XYZ, which Block, Apple, AMD, which is less triangular and more just a breakout here from resistance. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's probably the majority of them there. But yeah, that's sort of what we're looking at. This week probably a little bit lighter, but we'll maybe post a video if we get some price action moving in some of the stocks and maybe even in the futures market. So appreciate you listening. We'll talk again soon, hopefully during the week. Thanks.